Howdy. So my unit was on code switching, and so I was like, man, how am I going to introduce this topic to third graders? And by the way, I teach third and fourth grade this year, so I teach 2 blocks of third grade and 2 blocks of fourth grade. Unfortunately, the third graders have come to me significantly lower than what I would have liked. So it was hard to explain exactly what it was that I was wanting them to know. But my fourth graders, because I've looped with them, and so they've been with me for a year, they caught on very quickly. So with the third graders, I'm still teaching it to them, but they just don't have the written work produced already, but the fourth graders do. And so I wanted to model it exactly how we did things in the initiative with Jessica. So I started out with reading an essay to them from the Norton Anthology, and I was like, I don't know if that's too much for them, but they really liked it. And so I wanted them to pay very close attention to voice and the purpose, the author's purpose. And so I told them that when they write, that they need to pay attention to voice. And so after I read some of the essays from the anthology to them, I moved on to children's books. And the children's books, they absolutely loved it. So I brought 2 of them at the back. And I have pictures at the back, and I have work samples at the back. And so when I read the books to them, it was like they could see with the written words what code switching was, and they loved it, and they were like, Mrs. Jenkins, we do that. And I was like, yeah, I know you do that, but I don't want you to do that when you write, at least not to me. Depending on who your audience is, that will determine which way you speak. Depending on who your audience is will determine which way you speak, not just write, but to whom are you speaking? So I had them write 2 pieces. The first piece, I told them that I wanted code switching in the writing. And then the second piece we did a few days later, and I told them that I wanted the audience change. The first piece, the audience was their peanut butter and jelly partner, because I am an elementary school teacher, and that is just the person who sits next to you, your elbow partner. And then the second writing was to Mrs. Hinchin, the principal. And it is so funny. You have to make your way back there and read. So the top part is the code switching one, and then the bottom paper is from the same student, but to a different audience. And they got it. So I look forward to finishing the unit when I get back to Texas. Some of the standards were the writing process, obviously. And in 3rd and 4th grade, both of those grade levels have to know about figurative language. And so they started to notice the figurative language in the stories. So what I did was I was like, I sort of deviated from my unit, because I was like, we're all teachers, it happens. The students will lend something to the lesson, and you sort of, embark on another journey. So I had them split into groups of 6. I gave each person a role. And I had them either looking for figurative language in a book, or they were looking for code switching in a book. And they had to label it with sticky notes. And then to formally assess them, because the district really pushes formative assessments, I created a Plickers account for all 4 of my blocks. And they hold up their little journals. And with my cell phone, I just scan, their answers. And so I have the documentation of that at the back, which they really love, and it's like a real easy way to assess the students to see if they got it or not. And for the most part, they are getting it. And so I'm just amazed that the work that I have done here is translating well with the students, and they will, in fact, be better writers because of it. Thank you.